The first part tells the story of a man who was passionate about mountain climbing. He had conquered many peaks before, so when he chose a more difficult mountain, he did not hesitate. Confident in his experience and skills, he did little to prepare. He didn't check the weather, didn't ask for advice, and made no detailed plan. He believed that his strength and ability alone were enough to overcome any challenge. On the day of departure, he packed only the necessary gear and began his climb. The morning was perfect. The sky was clear, the air was fresh, and the scenery was breathtaking. Everything seemed to support him, making him believe even more that he would surely succeed in conquering this mountain. By afternoon, he had already made it halfway up. He stopped to rest and admired the magnificent view stretching out beneath him. In that peaceful moment, he smiled and whispered a prayer of gratitude. "Thank you, God, for this beautiful scenery. Thank you for my life." He took out some food, eating while breathing in the fresh mountain air. The vast sky and endless ranges filled him with a sense of blessing. Closing his eyes, his heart overflowed with thankfulness for being alive, for seeing the world from such a rare height. That moment felt like a spiritual gift, bringing him deep peace before continuing his journey. He believed this climb was not only a physical challenge, but also a journey of the soul. As time passed, the sky darkened. The sun set and heavy clouds rolled in, warning of a dangerous night ahead. The wise choice would have been to stop and rest until morning. But the man was too determined. He believed that his strength and faith would take him to the top. So he pressed on, even though he could barely see the path. The mountain trail grew treacherous, wrapped in thick fog and heavy darkness. He lost his sense of direction, unsure if he was moving upward, downward, or sideways. The cold grew sharper, making his body shiver, yet he clung to instinct and trusted that God was watching over him. Groping through the darkness, he struggled upward. Suddenly, as he reached for a rocky ledge, his foot slipped. His whole body plunged into the air, the wind whistling past as his heart raced wildly. In that moment, his entire life flashed before him. Childhood, dreams, joys, sorrows, mistakes, regrets. He thought it was the end, but the safety rope tied around his waist snapped taut, leaving him suspended in midair. He was alive, yet completely alone in the freezing darkness. His heart pounded, his body trembled, and his only hope now was the fragile rope keeping him from death. In utter terror, he cried out, "Save me, God!" Suddenly, a calm yet powerful voice echoed from the sky. "What do you want me to do for you?" The man pleaded. "Please save me," the voice asked. "Do you truly believe I can save you?" He answered firmly, "Yes, with all my heart." Then the voice continued, "If so, are you willing to do exactly what I tell you?" Without hesitation, he said, "Yes, anything." And then came the command, "Cut the rope tied around your waist." Silence followed. He froze, unable to believe what he had just heard. That rope was the only thing keeping him alive. How could he let it go? He was stunned by the instruction. Cut the rope? The very thought made him tremble. That rope was the thin line between life and death. How could he release it? Fear overwhelmed him, and he clung to it even tighter. In silence, tears fell as the darkness and cold wrapped around him. Time passed, but the voice never returned. He waited in despair, his heart filled with doubt and fear. The endless night grew colder, slicing through his body until his strength ebbed away. Instead of trusting and acting, he chose to hold tightly to what felt safe, falling into silence and the icy grip of fate. The next morning, the rescue team found his body. He had frozen to death after the long, bitter night, his hands still gripping the rope. The sight was heartbreaking. He had been hanging less than 3 feet above the ground. If only he had let go, he would have lived. He had trusted God with his words, but not with his actions. The cost was too high. True faith is not spoken only with the lips. It must be lived out in action. Only by loosening our grip on what we think is safe can we reach true salvation and freedom. Many times we are just like that climber. We say we trust in God, but when it comes time to act, fear takes over. We cling to what seems safe, unaware that it may be the very thing keeping us trapped. Real faith is not merely words. It is the courage to let go and move forward even when the path is unclear. If we rely only on our limited vision, we will always remain stuck in worry. But when we trust fully, God reveals the bigger picture, helping us rise above our fears. Remember, sometimes freedom begins the moment we release the rope we refuse to let go of.